This video will share research on school-based trauma-informed interventions. Do they show promise in supporting at-risk children's mental health and academic success? So, for a school to function in the way society intends, there must be further initiatives made to provide the tools that children and school staff require to overcome barriers created by trauma and the biopsychosocial impacts of the mental health diagnosis. For the scope of the problem, there is research that has previously shown individuals who have experienced major childhood trauma are more likely to drop out of schools compared to those who have not experienced childhood trauma. So the justification of this study is, how are children negatively impacted by unaddressed trauma? For one, their mental and physical health. There is misunderstanding among teachers and education leadership on behaviors deemed inappropriate for the school. Their academic success is impacted, and long-term, their social capital, socioeconomic status, and involvement with the criminal justice system all are possibilities that they can be impacted by. Why school-based services? They can create more accessibility to mental health services. There can be more understanding created among educators and offer them more support in meeting children's needs. Children can experience more one-on-one interactions and regain trust with adults. There is more hope for academic success when children have mental health barriers minimized. And finally, more opportunities can be created to help students better understand feelings, behaviors, and coping skills that can be used throughout the school day. So, how can social workers help? They can offer more support and mental health education to educators. They can advocate on behalf of students to minimize punitive forms of discipline that label children as bad. They're able to provide children with understanding and psychoeducation on their experiences with trauma. And they can create an environment that addresses how mental health plays a role in children's ability to fulfill their roles as students. Prior research has shown that complex trauma is able to show up in classroom settings, often through behaviors that are deemed unacceptable within schools. They can have difficulty with self-regulation, attention. They can appear disorganized or agitated, and it is often interpreted as disruptive. So it is important that practices be changed and examples are given on why they should be changed. So the aim of the study is to identify how students have been supported by the partnership between Cincinnati Public Schools and Camelot Community Care. Up-close narratives will be presented on each student and how they have benefited over the year from direct observations and interactions. The type of study and methods used was a qualitative descriptive research study design. It uses methods of field observations and clinical notes kept that note students' improvements and preferred therapeutic interventions. And I will also be using thematic analysis to identify themes and patterns in participants' observable behaviors and interactions and how this shows a benefit. So for my data and results, unfortunately, I do not have enough time to go into depth on each participant and what I found in their observations and ongoing progress notes, but I'm going to make sure to stop on each one, and if you feel the need to pause or would like to look on more of what I found in each individual, feel free to do so. I have included all 7 participants and tables that focus on their diagnosis, behaviors in classroom, new coping skills and strategies they use, as well as strengths they've developed, and a narrative of their overall progress throughout the year. The primary results of the study are based on observations and clinical notes following participants' progress. It can be concluded that school-based trauma-informed care interventions offer an overall benefit to students. This aligns with previous research that has supported this, and details of everyone's progress with specifics on how they have benefited can be found in previous slides. This means for future research that social workers must continue to advocate for students whose academic experience is impacted by trauma and mental health related struggles, and future research must be continued on the best ways to successfully implement these programs and what approaches work best. And these are my references. Thank you for watching.